William Morrow and HarperAudio present The Funeral Ladies of Ellerie County, a novel by Claire Swinarski. Performed by Alexandra Cendese, Alexandra Hunter, and Anne Richardson. In memory of my grandmother, Louise Usselman, and her grandmother, Mary Kramer, and her grandmother, Margarete Wutz, and on and on and on. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. J.R.R. Tolkien. 1. Esther Larson knew the only good way to make a pie crust was with your own 2 hands. Sure, the recipe books may have said to use forks, a knife perhaps, one of those pastry cutters Catherine Rose had, or even a food processor, which Esther's eldest granddaughter, Olivia, had insisted on registering for at her wedding 2 years back. Grandma, that just doesn't seem hygienic, she had pointed out last week, watching Esther make this exact same pie crust. The same cups of flour, the same sprinkles of water, the same pinches of salt, the same scoop of lard, sifted through with her own fingers. I washed my hands, Esther responded confidently. But if people knew that was how you make it? Olivia, this is how everyone who makes a quality pie crust makes their pie crust. I've been making this same crust for years. We didn't have food processors then. Well, you also didn't have statins then. Olivia's mother, Mary Frances, had butted in. Heart attack medicine. It was a low blow. Her daughter always felt the need to bring up Esther's age, as if Esther's impending death was on her mind constantly, as if she walked into her house and fidgeted about, wondering which granddaughter was going to get the porcelain rabbit on the mantel, and the wall clock from 1900, and her ancient old cookbooks, weathered and stained. No, she shouldn't think like that. Fran was a good kid. Esther was lucky. Her daughter had turned out mostly okay. But still, the death thing, the checking in, the reminding her to spend less time on her feet, it was exhausting, trying to always reassure her daughter that people like her were too determined to die, and she didn't need the reminder. She saw it every single time she looked in the mirror, every time she climbed up the stairs from the church basement. She especially felt it today, as she leaned into the kitchen counter. These warm summer days could wear her out. They reminded her of all the things she used to be able to do that she couldn't anymore, like ski across the lake and dive off her dock. But no, she thought, digging back into her crust, she shouldn't think like that. She should be grateful for her years, however many of them she had left. Esther! She broke out of her reverie and turned to see Catherine Rose shoving open her heavy front door and hobbling into the foyer. Her varicose veins must have been acting up. Catherine Rose had lived next door for the past 50 years, just across the patch of knee-high grass and wildflowers that separated the 2 homes. Esther and Felix had bought their house in Ellerie County the year after he returned from Vietnam, and they got married. It had been a steal, a 4-bedroom house overlooking Muskie Lake, with rickety stairs leading down to the dock, and fresh pine beams. All it needed.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?